How's it going, Jets fans? My name is Alex with my co-host here, Ryan Moran. Another great day. Zach Wilson just seems to be getting better every single day, and I know you guys are really excited to hear that, along with some other guys that have really been standing out, like Quinn Williams. Talk about him, talk about Zach. Had some really good moments in the red zone today, showcasing that just anticipation, that vision, that quick arm speed. Guys like a gunslinger out there in the Wild West. I would not want to come across him. So I'll tell you what, really good to see him making this great progress in practice. We have the spring, rather preseason games coming up really, really quickly. So I don't know how much they'll utilize him in preseason, maybe a quarter there, a quarter here. But again, he's a sophomore in the NFL. So he does need that little bit of ramp up time. So I imagine they'll get him involved in some ways, whether it's a drive to start off. And then, by the end of the preseason, maybe I think they're only doing 3 games this year, not 4. So, that cuts down the time pretty significantly. So I wonder if they'll try to get him a little bit more action in those 3 games, then obviously having that 4th one, which usually ends up just being for the practice squad guys, then the starters usually don't play at all anyway. So maybe they just operate normally. Before we dive into some of the good takeaways from today's practice, Ryan, how you do today, my friend?
I'm doing great, Alex. Like you said, obviously another strong performance from Zach Wilson 2 days in a row, which is all you want to see, just continuing to stack and get better. Elijah Moore continues to shine and really be a star. I think he's going to be a catalyst for not even just this passing game and the Jets offense in general, but this entire football team. I think he's really going to have a big second year. On the injury front, Michael Carter just missed yesterday. He was back fully today. George Fant is getting closer to being a full participant, was in 3 11-on-11 series today. So some definite, progress there. Benny Curry still did not practice today. Greg Zuerlein didn't go with a toe. We got some kicking news as well today. Eddie Pinero went 3 for 4. He had a miss from over 50 yards. I think it was 55, but he also had 2 makes from over 50 yards. So he continues to thrive on some of those longer kicks. They said Jeremy Rucker could come off of the non-football injury list today, which is good. Really get him up to speed here soon. And Ty Johnson's day-to-day with the hamstring injury. So nothing really too serious. Actually, some progress, as mentioned. And, it was definitely good to hear some of the news, with Zach, touchdown pass to Tyler Conklin today, 2-point conversion to Elijah Moore, like you said, thriving in the red zone. I think him and Moore had another big connection that got them down there originally on one of the series. And he was spreading the ball around. CJ Uzama, Braxton Berrios, Jeff Smith, all getting involved. So love to hear, the good news on Zach, and just want to continue to see these days stack.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, exactly. It's really about momentum and stacking them on top of each other and making that progress. It's okay if you have a great day and the next day you suck. Obviously, it's practice. That's what it's for. But, gaining steam and gaining that, just progression, that feeling that you're developing, I think that's what Zach Wilson really needs. And I think that confidence is going to roll over into the regular season pretty nicely. As you mentioned, he was 8 for 8 today with 2 touchdowns. And had 2-point conversion to Elijah Moore and a touchdown to Tyler Conklin. So nice to see Tyler Conklin getting involved as well in the red zone and making some big plays on the tight end position, because obviously the Jets team is still waiting on Jeremy Rucker to come back from that foot issue. And then, CJ Uzoma's back as well. So good tight end group there. And it's great. I'm excited to see how Zach continues to grow here. But another guy that's standing out a lot is Quinn Williams, right? Quinn Williams has been good, not great the past few seasons. A good pass rusher, has had some issues against the run, a little bit inconsistent, but I got to say, Sheldon Rankins has been talking him up like crazy. He's been saying he looks like this is the best I've ever seen him type of crazy. So that's really good to see that the guys are noticing how well he's playing. And I think that, it's fun. And they're also saying a lot about the offensive line and how well they've looked and how great they're looking in terms of growth and development. Mikhail Beckton's getting better every single day. And Sheldon Rankin said on the defensive line room, the amount of talent we have is pretty crazy. This is as talented of a room as I've been in. And he's been in some really good ones with New Orleans and a couple other teams. So that's really good for him to say. About Quinn Williams specifically, he said, this is as good as I've seen him play. This is as good as he's looked consistently. So as I said before, Williams, good player, but has been inconsistent in the past. Now he's looking good on an every practice basis, which is just awesome to see. What is your expectations for Quinn Williams this year? And if he has a big season, do you think you would extend him on a contract after 2022, or do you still think you wait it out and see what his 5th year is like?
For sure. I mean, I think the early indications have been that the Jets want to extend Quinn now. It's just he knows he hasn't played his best ball yet, and I think that's really what the holdup is. He wants to have a career year, and of course, have his stock go up. So they're forced to give him more money, and I definitely think that there's going to be interest from both parties in terms of getting a deal done probably at the end of the season. I felt all along, and look, I definitely think Quinn, the buzz from camp is definitely good. You said it, obviously the interior of the offensive line with Laken Tomlinson now, Elijah Vera Tucker in his 2nd year. Conor McGovern going into a contract year. You know that you have 3 rock solid, reliable players there. And for Quinn to just continue to, make his impact and presence felt, it's definitely encouraging to hear. I think he's really entering his prime years as a 24-year-old coming into his own, in the scheme. And I definitely think he's poised to have a breakout year. Jermaine Johnson also had a sack today. I want to say it was his first at camp. So definitely good to hear that. And, Quan Alexander, already getting run with the first team. They signed him a week ago. Obviously, his familiarity with the scheme and solid definitely helps get him up to speed pretty fast. But to already see him working alongside CJ with the ones and not even just being with the starting unit, but making plays, reportedly had a tackle for loss early on against the running practice. So this defense, while it was really bad last year and they have a lot to prove this year, you're definitely seeing some good buzz here early on.
Yeah, and CJ Mosley and Quincy Williams and Quan, like good group of linebackers now. And Quincy Williams said on adding Alexander, he goes, it's going to be scary for real. So I'm excited to see how these guys make progress. Quan Alexander, obviously experience, has had some issues in the past, stopping the run and not the best in coverage, but he's kind of degraded a little bit. Maybe Robert Saleh can get him back to his previous form after some injuries and whatnot. But if he can live up to that hype, if he can live up to the potential, signing a 1-year kind of prove it deal with the Jets. This is going to be a tremendous asset for you guys. And honestly, this is what you want to see from the Jets team is just finding these guys who can make an impact on cheap contracts, exposing that rookie window at the quarterback position. They're doing the right things. Like everything seems to be going and heading in the right direction. So I'm hyped about that. But let's take a look at some of these clips here. Some really good stuff from today's practice, specifically Mikhail Beckton shoving over a tackle dummy, otherwise just a guy with a pad. So let's take a look here at this. So get some running back action in there. Breece Hall and looking good.
Michael Carter, I think in this one early here. Yep.
That's good to see he's back.
Yep.
Nice. He's so quick. Look at that little jump
Very
cut.
quick.
Little jump cut. That little foot injury, ankle injury was minor. He's back to go, ready to go. Nicely done.
Breece Hall fouls it up here. Definitely see the difference in their size.
And just their style of running.
Yep.
Like I want to look at that one more time. Like Michael Carter, like that step, he steps in the ground and bam, he's gone, man. Bam, gone. He's very smooth with it. Yep. Bryce Hall is a little bit more, or Breece Hall rather, is a little bit more. He's explosive, but he also is a little bit more jerky in his style. Yeah. He's not as smooth. Like Michael Carter is like low center of gravity. He's turned, he puts that foot in the ground, he's gone. Change directions, very, very smooth and simple. For Breece Hall, it kind of like a little bit more of a stutter and bam, gone. So interesting style difference, but both very, very effective in their own ways.
Some of Beckton's work from today.
Good God. I would not want to be in front of that man. I love this video.
You see just how powerful, how strong he is. And
he's not even doing anything. Like he literally just puts his hand out and pushes this man. It's a big guy too. The guy holding the pads. He looks like he's a little bit older, but hell, he's not a small dude by any means.
Hits him right in.
Yeah, good God, he's such a big human being. I just every time I look at him, I'm like, how does this person exist? And this is
the end of practice.
Nakua, right?
Yep.
How do you say his name? Nakua.
Kai,
safety, Nakai,
linebacker. Yeah, he's like a hybrid. Another one of those types.
Kai Nakua. He was actually a safety, transitioned to linebacker. That's pretty cool. So he's actually transitioning. I'll run this back one more time so you guys can watch all the clips. But he's transitioning back to linebacker from safety. Nice hit at the goal line there. I think it was on Conklin, if I'm not mistaken.
I actually couldn't tell, but the Jets have so many of those hybrids from safety to linebacker. When you look at him, you look at Marcel Harris, obviously the 2 draft picks.
It was on,
Jamie and Sherwood and Thompson Dean. So they have a lot of those. They definitely have like that type of player that they want at the linebacker position.
Right. So that was actually on Zonovan Knight. So nice tackle there.
That's right.
The goal line. Good stuff, man. Mikhail Beckton looks like he's getting better every single day. That power, good Lord, help anyone that has to get past that man. Nice play from a guy that I actually have never even heard of in Nakua. So he's kind of unknown, but making good plays. Defense got hyped for him. Good stuff, man. This is good progress for this Jets team. Some guys that you don't even know are coming out of the woodworks. That's always a good sign, right? Like when you have guys who nobody really has heard of, there's not much information about them, and they're making plays, and that's like sprinkles on the ice cream because Zach Wilson's kicking ass, and these guys are all just having good practice. Quinn Williams looks great. Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis. Michael Carter, Breece Hall, Tyler Conklin, a touchdown today. They're all looking great. Mikhail Beckton, Font is back in the mix. Vera Tucker looks great. Everyone is having good practices. This team, low key, I'm going to keep it between us. This team could be a playoff team this year if they reach their potential, if they play disciplined football and they translate this practice quality to the regular season. This team could be a sneaky little wild card team. I don't think they're going to win the AFC East, but I think that they could sneak into the wild card if they have 7 or 8 wins there. They're probably more like 8 wins, maybe even 9. They might need because it's such a good division. But I'm excited. What do you think the chances of this team making the playoffs are? What do you think needs to happen for that?
For sure. I think the two catalysts, in my opinion, who we spoke on, recently, it's Zach Wilson and Mikhail Beckton. I mean, if you get those two to really play at their best and continue to grow, I think, especially this offense, there's really not a, glaring hole at a starting position. And you can really feel good about this unit accentuating under Michael LaFleur's leadership to potentially a top 15. I would hope, best case scenario, top 15 offense if they're going to make the playoffs, which they haven't been since 2015 inside of the top 25. I mean, that's how bad it's been. So I think that's really where it starts. You're starting to see this defense come along and, they're going to have to prove themselves against the run. I think, early takeaways here with Quan, he's definitely making his impact felt. And the pass rush on this defensive line and the depth that it consists of, I think is really going to be a key thing. And, getting Carl Lawson, Jermaine Johnson, Quinn Williams, all these guys, making those impact plays in timely situations. And you said it. I mean, Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Michael Carter, this young and exciting core of skill position players the Jets have. I mean, it's the best that they've had in so long, and it's pretty thrilling to think about.
That it is, my friend. That it is. But guys, hope you enjoyed this episode of Fireside Jets, taking a look at today's practice, top takeaways, analysis, and some clips. Really good to see how these guys making good progress and a lot of good news and not a lot of bad news. Injuries are minimal. Guys are getting healthier. This is exactly what we want to see. And preseason coming up, sneaking up on us really, really quickly. So I'm excited to kind of get the next couple of days underway and hopefully learn some more about this team and the progress they're making. Sauce Gardner, also some good takeaways from him. So nothing to be concerned about on that end as well. But guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe as always to Fireside Jets on the YouTube page. Really appreciate all the love you guys have been showing lately. And we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Jets episode.